What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason. Today I have some super exciting news to share with you. But before that, we're going to get started on fabbing up the exhaust for the 6.0 CUCV. Okay, so as you saw in the previous video, I'm using the factory exhaust manifolds. I have saved up and acquired some of the down pipes and Y pipes. I have these. I have like 5 or 6 more in a truck out back that I've been saving to do this project. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the driver's side exhaust. I've already got a cutoff flange mounted onto my exhaust manifold. I'm gonna make some pie cuts here to get it directed away from that and routed the direction I need it to go. All right, everybody, so I left off last night getting started on the exhaust. I fought with the welder for a while. It was not cooperating with me, but I got that sorted out and got my first couple pieces cut and tacked together here. Well, these are welded together. I realized last night that I did not order any flanges or clamps. I'd like to use V-bands just so I don't have to buy a gasket every time I take them apart, if I take them apart in the future. But I'm gonna keep going on this. Keep trying to get this first couple pieces of pipe fabbed up and mocked into place. Oh, and in case you were wondering, I'm doing this, I'm literally using cut up Y pipes and old exhaust pieces from trucks that I've parted out. I'm literally using a Sawzall, an angle grinder, and a welder to do this. All right, making progress. We got a few more pieces made up here. So here's what we had yesterday, and here's the few pieces we just got added. Now, I'm sure some of you are looking at this saying, Jason, what the heck kind of crossover exhaust wackadoodle nonsense are you making? Well, I don't want my lower exhaust pipe to be under the torque converter cover. I want to try to keep the transmission as cool as possible. So I don't want all this heat right under the torque converter, which is already a hot spot in the system. The other reason that we are routing our exhaust under the oil pan instead of under the torque converter cover is right here at my feet. Boom! That reason is this lovely GT45 turbo. Yes! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are turbocharging the 6-liter in the CUCV. This is my first adventure into turbocharging an LS. This is an Amazon turbo, but it's probably the same one, same GT45 you would get off of eBay. I'll put a link to it in the description for you, but this baby's going on there. That's why I'm not using just an off-the-shelf bolt-in exhaust. I'm fabricating my own, aside from the fact that it's way less expensive. But the kits you can buy to turbo the 6-liter and LS series engines, I didn't see any that I knew for sure would fit into the CUCV. And I've been saving all these parts for quite a while now to do this myself. So this baby is going in there. So now you know the big news. I am super excited, but let's get back to getting this exhaust system done. We got our next few pieces welded on there. Well, we'll get it stuck back in and then we'll start working on the next piece. All right, so here's where our passenger side flange bolts on, comes down. You can see we've got about a ½ inch between the pipe and the frame, wraps around, nice gentle curves, which I like. I'll be able to access the oil cooler lines when I need to. I'll be able to change the oil filter easily when I need to. And then nice curve, swoops under the oil pan, but I have clearance there. It should be nice and rigid. And then loops over, I gotta keep going, come around and up on the passenger side. All right, everybody, we got our next couple pieces on. So now we're wrapped all the way under the oil pan. These pieces are just tacked. Wrapped all the way under the oil pan, all the way out. And then we're gonna come up right between this pinion snubber, right up next to our other exhaust manifold outlet. You can see it up there. Alright everybody, it's the next day. I'm gonna finish welding this piece where I left off yesterday. I ran out of welding wire, went and got some more, and then I'll dress it, and then I'm gonna have to leave off there until my V-band clamps get here so I can continue on with the next parts. Alright everybody, another day out in the garage. Finally, our turbo flange and our V-band clamps came, so we can finish getting the hot side exhaust done. I'm going to try to finish that up today. All right, we got a couple more pieces in here. We got our V-band tacked in place. It comes into a real light angle. It comes up into this 90-degree turn. And then we'll get another piece of nice gentle turn that'll come up and connect right here to our flange. This is where we want to get our turbo flange approximately. Half of my V-band here and then my first bend welded up, and then I'll work on getting my last few pieces of tube fitted up to meet up with the manifold, with the passenger side manifold. Just a little quick tip about V-bands. I learned this from Sean over on the PFI Speed YouTube channel. But for your V-bands, if you're going to be putting something together and taking it apart a bunch of times, V-bands typically come with a lock nut. So if you're going to take it apart, put it together a bunch of times, find yourself a different nut that isn't a lock nut, because the lock nuts tend to mess up the threads on these things if you put them on and off a bunch of times. But a regular nut will let you tighten it down, take it apart, put it together as many times as you need to without messing up the threads. Big progress, I'm pumped. So, we got our crossover pipe up and connected. We got our manifold fit up pretty good. Dremeled out the excess pipe inside with my carbide burr. Got the flange tack welded on here. So, next step is just get everything welded up. unfortunately, well, admittedly, this video took me longer to get out, but I'm calling it a wrap on this one. We've got our turbo manifold, our union all welded up solid. The only thing I have left to do on this is get my wastegate mounted. I'm thinking I'm gonna mount it right here in the center of where both meet. But otherwise, I'm calling it done for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. It really helps me out. Leave a comment below if you have any input, questions, anything like that. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.